the song that everybody should like. It's
Yeah.
just like, so yeah.
Yeah, it's relieving in a way. It's like a break in the record where you can just
Like Dan
Yeah.
Tobin said, like the pee break for the audience.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, we usually played the instrumentals live as well, as I remember. We
Yeah,
did,
no,
yeah,
we did. Well,
yeah, we played this one when this record came out.
Yeah, I just heard from Tobias. Let's see if he wants to join the live stream.
That would be cool. Then he can answer some questions about this song.
Yeah, well, he has done a lot of lyric writing.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of things to say about that because he's been writing a lot of lyrics.
Yeah.
And I forgot
And I think especially on this and on From Beyond, he did a lot of lyrics also.
Yeah.
And on the instrumentals, he's also like, I think that at least half of the songs, half of Crystal Sweet is his like bass riffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like how Tobias sounds when he's just like standing and jamming by himself. It's just like, he sounds
Yeah.
like Steve Harris, but
Yeah.
himself. And he's just like, all these riffs, just like, it's just like, yeah,
But
such a great bass part.
many of these instrumentals were, like many of the riffs were based on bass stuff that he had, or he just started playing something
Yeah.
that he had for many years, and that was the first foundation of the song.
Yeah, like stuff that's like the first thing that he plays when he picks up a bass.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then finally we make a song out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. Let's see if he joins in. Otherwise, we can continue. Sacrifice. I don't think we have to talk about that so much. I have nothing fun to say about that.
But it was it your
It's
song?
good. That's your song, Olaf. 100%.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even. What is it that is special with it? I like the pre-chorus. I think that's.
I like the intro. The intro is good, and the pre-chorus is really good.
Oh yeah. Well, that's always. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was also a little bit like I said before, that just wanted to flex the muscles to the non-believers, you know.
Yeah.
But then we come to Silent Hour, which is your song, Joseph.
Yeah, that's my only song on this album. Yeah, how did that come together? Don't really remember. It has the classic, which I call the Ronnie James Dio beat.
The Joseph beat.
I love it.
Me too.
Yeah, Dio beat. That's right. That's a Joseph beat.
Yeah,
that's what we call it. Yeah.
And I think the riff, like the intro riff, I was sort of inspired of what In Solitude had done on their record that came the year before or something. Or yeah, like I don't know, I just I was listening to that record a lot when I did that riff. Then you came up with the chorus, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's a fun thing, because Tobias says that he's trying to join in. Does he have any? I think you can just
request access.
Request access, and then we can grant the access. Now the funny thing with that chorus is that I dreamt it. I remember the dream that I was like on a deserted island, and I went into like an old deserted wooden house, and inside there was a radio playing. They was playing Witchcross, the Danish band, and that was the chorus. it was like, it sounded like, and
That's awesome.
in my
Yeah.
dream, that was cross. But when I woke up, and it was like, wow, this isn't too bad actually. So
and it's
yeah,
not a
then I
Witch
threw it
Cross
into
song.
your song. No, it's not a me. I put it up, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
But then
awesome.
you have the whole B part to the song too, because that was also you, Joseph, right? The whole, like, what was the idea when you came up with like the 2-part song and like the instrumental second part?
I think the instrumental part is a lot of parts that I had for many years before, that I wanted to do something, create something from.
Just to start interrupting. Tobias says that he has sent the request, but you have to. Can you see if you can accept it?
Yeah, I'm trying to accept it. Yeah.
Oh,
accept. There you are.
yeah.
Shit. Hej på det.
Ja, det är bra. Ja, det hörs inte vad du säger.
Ja, lite.
Nej, det hörs inte. Can't hear. Yeah. So please continue, Joseph, when Tobias is fixing his sound.
Well, yeah, it's a long instrumental B part, and I think I remember we started jamming that on the tour, on sound checks. On that tour with Bullet, I think we started rehearsing that song.
It's a massive song. It's like, oof, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
turned
huge.
out really cool.
Yeah, it's like when you finish it, it almost feel like an orgasmic vibe when you're like
yeah. It was it's the B part that is the, I don't know, the major part of that song, in a way, like, because Silent Hours is a really short song. It's like verse, chorus, and then it's this whole 4-minute long outro.
Yeah.
Can we hear you, Tobias?
No, it's
Yeah. Al, listen, we were talking about, we were doing a track by track thing rundown from of Death by Fire, and we were just talking about all your great contributions on Crystal Sweet, and then we went on to Silent Hour that we're talking about now. But yeah, it's a massive song, really. But you had how much you have, like, since way back?
How much of the song?
Yeah. Where does it come from? Like that riff that goes in like three quarters.
Yeah, I took that's I have used that many times, but I had it in my student concert for the first time. But then it was exactly in a different. How does it go on in the song? It goes. No, it was actually in 4/4 at my student concert, but then I used it again later after this in 3/4. Comes and goes, but and then it's the and that part I think I wrote on the Bullet tour, and we started jamming on that in sound checks during that tour.
Oh, I mean, that entire B part gives me like Orion vibes with Metallica. I know you don't like that album, like it's really up there.
Well, it's fine, but that album has never been a milestone for me. But I wouldn't say that I don't like it, but it's not where it comes from. The inspiration, no.
No, but it's a little bit folky kind of melody and stuff like that it has in common. You know, can you see if you can accept Tobias' request again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a funny thing. Why is it called the conjugation? Never nobody ever asked about that. But do we hear you? No. Well, this is a funny story. I never told you guys even, and the story behind the name, the conjugation, is that I read about conjunction, which is the phenomenon when like 2 or 3 stars is on the same line, but I just messed it up.
Oh, it's a typo.
Yeah, it's a typo.
It's not even a word. I have
no
it's
idea. Not a conjugation. That's something.
Really?
That's something that has to do with math.
But that's pretty cool. Conjugation.
Yeah.
It sounds like a horror film.
Are you sure though that it's not another word? Have you looked it up?
No, that is not. I found out
do we have
way later.
Do we have any English experts in the audience?
I checked this out. The conjugation. What is that?
Does that mean anything?
Just like, yeah. Well, that's the history of that song, at least.
That's funny facts.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like coming up with titles that is not even a word, but it sounds cool. You know, that would be like I don't know, but it doesn't happen that often. This is pretty unique, but I don't have another example.
Exactly. Does that make it even more stupid or like more cool? I don't know. But I meant to call it the conjunction.
Yeah. It's a good title. Silent Hour, the conjugation.
How did you come up with the title, Joseph? Because that title was yours too.
Silent Hour.
Silent Hour. I don't know. Well, wasn't it this movie Melancholia? We were talking about that movie a lot when we were putting this song together, and the whole thing. Well, the lyrics is some kind of dystopian end of the world thing.
I think it's
Silent Hour. It sounds cool.
I think it's
Silent Hour. It sounds cool. Yeah. What did you say?
No, I was gonna say like the different.
And I think I don't care much about the lyrics. I just care about how good it feels to sing different words. Like from a singer perspective, I like certain words that are just more, that just sound better, that lies better, like in your throat. If you understand what I mean. That's how I choose words for lyrics, really. The meaning is meaningless.
Yeah.
Or you can come up with a meaning afterwards. You're gonna have to construct the meaning.
It's funny how we can sing a song without knowing what it's about.
Yeah, like a lot of your lyrics. You know, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Tobias, do you wanna? A lot of people here wants to hear about your bass riffs, Crystal Sweet. If you have some way of telling that.
We hear you very little.
Sounds like that.
Yeah. It sounds like you have. Sorry, it sounds like you have something in the way of the microphone in your. Yeah, we hear something. Oh yeah, we can hear you.
So the bass lines in what? In the
Crystal Sweet, the instrumental song. Very bass driven.
Oh yeah, the intro. The intro is kind of Steve Harris. Fucking 4 albums with, of course, that's kind of Steve Harris bass. But yeah, the intro is very Steve Harris ish, I think. And I can't really remember the wrote that song.
I hear that wine pour much more than I hear to be a story.
Yeah. Yeah. But what Tobias basically said was that I'm a kick-ass bass player. Whatever I do is great. And we just put it on tape. We just recorded him and put whatever he played on tape. Yeah.
Huh?
I was just kidding. We heard a second of you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me tell you kids about the bass lines then. They're stolen from Steve Harris.
Bummer.
This show was just I was doing warm up when we did rehearsals, and we kind of liked it. So I think we started there, what I remember, and then I can't even really remember how we wrote the song.
We were just we started discussing this song with that nobody knew where it came from. The title we came up with, I think, like when we played in Uppsala in 2010, and we translated that from a Bo Hansson song, I think, just straight to English. So we had the title.
That's right.
And
then the main riff, I think, is just bass and guitar melodies, right? That's like symphony. I want to hear the song before I talk about it.
Yeah,
that's how I felt.
Did somebody hear?
Sorry.
Huh?
Did any of you guys hear what Tobias was saying?
I heard it. Yeah.
Okay. So what did he say? So everybody else like watching this also.
Oh, okay.
Also, yeah.
He want to hear the song before he says anything about it. That's what I heard.
And that he stole everything from Steve Harris, he said with a smile.
Well,
someone asked if you got inspired by To Tame a Land.
No.
No. Okay, the answer is no, by the way. You never heard that song, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, should we go on?
More like Genghis Khan, the Killer's instrumental.
Now you're perfect now. So don't move.
Okay. All right. So I think it's more inspired by like Killer's Maiden era more than anything else.
Genghis Khan. That's a great song. And now that we have,
it's fucking fast.
Yeah, now that we have you here and we hear you, what's the first recollection that comes to mind for you when you think about Death by Fire?
I remember the very first thing is that I had the ugliest bass in the world.
But you said we would never ever talk about that. Is that like
no?
The best sounding but ugliest bass that anyone ever had on a record, I think.
We weren't allowed to take pictures because the bass was so ugly.
No,
maybe we should post that. You should post that picture.
I wasn't allowed to take any.
We don't have any.
There is a picture.
It had skulls on it.
Like greenish with skulls on it.
I wonder who.
Yeah, we put it in this. It sounded so fucking good.
Yeah, you tried the Rickenbacker and you tried a bunch of like the jazz bass, and then you're just like, let's do this one. It did sound really good. I think the bass tone at Death by Fire record is so great.
Yeah, it's
the best.
It's the best we ever had. I think that's I would like to think that it's Niklas Nord's bass. So if you hear this, I'll buy that bass. Because he was just like standing around in the studio. I have a feeling that it could be his.
But otherwise, I kind of think that's the best album we did in some way. I really like the vibe of it now in hindsight, and I like that it was a bit harder and faster. I really enjoy listening to it like from time to time.
Yeah.
Except Chris, which I can't really remember apparently.
No, but like we were talking, that there's like a intro riff. I had it here. It goes like this. If you hear anything, so very bass driven. So how about that?
Yeah, that was my warm up.
Yeah. Hockey.
Play it as fast as you can. No, I can't play that fast.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah. We just recorded you warming up and that's it.
one taker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, you were the most one taker of us all, I think, when it's like a lot of the songs is just one take.
Yeah.
On the bass? Nah. Yeah, maybe I remember the From Beyond though. That was. Do you remember that, Olof? I bought a new bass for that record. We did half an album.
Yeah.
We half an album, and then we realized it was some
tuning issues.
Something wrong. Yeah. So then we did the whole album in one afternoon the day after, because I was so pissed. I didn't even want to take a break between the songs.
Yeah. But I think like most of these like instrumental songs that we had is, I mean, the instrumental songs really puts the vibe of each album. Like it, when I think about the sound of Death by Fire, I kind of think about Crystal Sweet. Like that's how it sounds. The same with From Beyond, when I think, it's summarized like the album so much.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So what did you guys talk about before I joined?
Oh, we've been a lot of things.
Yeah. Should we go through the whole record again?
Is Is it something about any song that you want to talk about or add anything? Because we're talking about Silent Hour. We're gonna move on to Satan, but before that, we've been talking about all this.
Move on to
the last song of the album.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about like we're talking through like the track list and how we came up with the songs and
we have
like
some other quick questions that we've got so far, but so let's move on to Satan. What was that was originally made by the singer of Joseph's new band Tribulation, Johannes. He sent me a voice memo. Right. Chorus, like in the middle of the night. He was at some party or something, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta do a song like this," and or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, if you say so. So I built the entire song on that voice memo that he sent me when he was drunk.
Did he ever get credit for that?
Like, I probably said it out loud before, but I don't think we credit. He is in the thank list. I don't think we credit him for any. Unfortunately.
Shit. Pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
that song.
One.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of smiling reactions on that story. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. What else? It's a fast one. It's pretty standard. I don't think that it's so much to say about that. More than...
I think it's the best fast song we did, actually.
Oh, you think so? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very...
I really like it. Especially the chorus is... No, the verse is fucking great.
Yeah. Well, it's straightforward and it does the trick. We wanted to end this album on a high note, I think, or like on a fast note.
Starting and ending.
Yeah. So then we have talked through all the songs.
I guess just adding to that about like the song structure, what order you wanted to put the songs, because you were very specific on how you wanted the track list, and just like you could see like a flow from like the fast to like a slower, and then like you were seeing like a storyline almost.
Yeah.
Like,
that was had in mind. Like before, like how it would structure. I think I like took that from Metallica, because I think that they had like great like ups and downs or like dramaturgy on their albums. So this is like, yeah, first you want a fast song, then a slower one, then the title track, and then so on. So I think that's something that I just took from listening to that.
And I feel like that's where like where What's in the Night, they didn't fit into that structure. It wasn't like it didn't fit song wise, but it's just like it didn't fit in the structure, and that's also why it didn't make the album, I think.
Yeah.
I saw that some dude wanted to know about the B-side, You Can Be.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's such a I like we played that for a while, right? We played that with you singing until we changed to the battery song.
We never played that live. No, I don't think so.
Didn't we? Didn't we?
No, we never.
Didn't we try it on the sound check?
I don't even think we tried it on a sound check.
I think we did.
Maybe tried on sound check, but I can't recall that we played it live.
No, I'm very certain I wanted to, but for some reason it never happened. I don't think it was like, because I think there was like, I thought it was gonna get more attention than it actually got. So I think
this is
still a lot of people have never heard our version of that song.
Yeah. But that's a really good song.
Yeah. Oh, amazing song.
Yeah. And where is that on the single version of Mesmerized by Fire?
On the single version, I think. Yeah. Because we put out a 7-inch of that song.
Yeah. And that song, isn't that recorded in your basement? The vocals,
yes.
at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we did the whole mixing
guitars
in the basement. We did the whole mixing and like the final production and everything we did in the basement in the late summer of 2012. So you're right, we were there. We weren't there like rehearsing initially or recording, but we did all the mixing for that album there. That's correct.
Yeah, it was so many different locations involved with recording this album.
I think that also like helps it a lot that you get to listen to the songs in different places and different atmosphere. It just gives you perspective, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the perspective that we didn't get on Diamonds when we like recorded all in over 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some more questions here. Which song are your respective favorite on this album?
It's hard to say, but like when you go back to the album now, it's maybe different than when we recorded it. But I think Run for Your Life is my favorite nowadays. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What I appreciate about this album is that it is really, you know, intense and fast, and I think that song sort of summarized the whole energy on this album.
Yeah,
and it's a really clever riff.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Mesmerized by Fire is the best song for sure. And I really liked to play the one live a lot.
Yeah.
And then Take Me Out of This Nightmare. I really also enjoyed to play live. It was a good live track.
I remember that you hated Death Rides, if you don't.
Fucking hate that song. Sorry, Jonas. I hate
That's okay.
It's way.
But to answer that question, I like when you hear your music in a different context than you're used to. I feel like you get a different perspective. And I remember I was like in a rock club once with like a bunch of like different songs and the DJ playing, and all of a sudden they started play Mesmerized by Fire, and I was just like, that's like the first time, like when you hear it out of context, it's just like, yeah, I understand what this song is and what it has and why it feels special. And so it's like ever since that I've been like really liking Mesmerized by Fire. It's been special.
I had similar experience with that when I've been hearing that in like on a rock club, for example, they play it in like in connection with other songs, and I feel like where it has a lot of like it's like the melodicism in the song compared and it also has the groove. Yeah.
And I feel like it's like one of the best guitar tones I ever heard for a metal. When that riff starts, it's just like piercing. It's
I
so
love the
cool.
guitar. Yeah.
And that's also when it starts like in contrast to other songs, it's just like this sounds so freaking heavy. That's the feeling that I got.
So you say Mesmerized, Joseph says Run for Your Life. What do I say? What's the best song? I mean, like I said, the Conjugation, the Typo song, is like that's what comes to mind with, because it feels so overwhelmingly big, and like kind of it's very liberating to hear that song, because it doesn't really fit into any like metal has to's that you have to do this, you have to sound this to be metal, but we do that, and for me that's very liberating to listen to, like all the folk influences and all that kind of stuff that I was very negative to back then, but now now in retrospect I think that's what makes it like a great album.
Yeah, it gives the album so much dynamics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just 10 years old.
Yeah, I was pissed. No,
yeah, I can't remember that you was really negative about it, but
do you? I was that.
Yeah.
But didn't you like it once we finished it? Like when we had it?
Yeah.
I think you liked it when we did the final mix and we heard it all together. I think like you were really positive.
Yeah.
Too.
But I was just like, I left you guys in the basement for 10 minutes and you had put cellos on, and I was like, what the hell?
Okay, I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember you were pissed at that. What the fuck is going on? Yeah.
But it turned out great. I mean, now that's what makes the song.